Hey, it's Jeff from Pondoff's Anonymous. We've been talking about recovery and real-life stuff for a long time, and now we've got something that fits right into that world. It's our new coffee, Light in the Dark, a bold Colombian dark roast we made with Long Story Coffee. If you spent any time in recovery, you know coffee is a part of the deal. In the rooms, with friends, early mornings, late nights, this roast matches that energy, smooth, steady, and honest. And every bag helps support the work we do on the show. Grab Light in the Dark at pondoffsanonymous.com. Start your day the way so many started recovery, with a cup and a little light.
Pondoff's Anonymous is brought to you in part by McKelvey Insurance. Let's be honest, insurance sucks until you need it. That's why I fuck with McKelvey Insurance. These folks aren't just slinging quotes like robots. They're actual humans who solve real problems. Whether it's personal or commercial insurance, McKelvey works with over 30 companies to make sure you've got the best coverage at the best price without the bullshit. You're not just a number to them. They build real relationships. So when life changes, or your rates do, they've got your back. They'll shop around again and again to make sure you stay protected without ever overpaying. Call or text 618-623-0080 or hit up McKelveyINS.com. That's McKelvey, McKelveyINS.com. McKelvey Insurance. Quick solutions to real-life insurance problems. Anywhere in Illinois or Missouri.
I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. React if you have to, Don't know the time, just know that I'm, one of a kind, What's on your mind, We're hard to find, Beautiful mind, Still in my prime, Just know that I'm here.
We are on season 3, Pondoff's Anonymous, and this is going to be probably episode 3 of season 3 for the flagship show of this Pondoff's Anonymous media network.
What's flagship?
Like staple.
Oh.
You took your sunglasses off, though.
Yeah,
proud
because
of you.
I'm on camera and I feel like from this far away you can't.
Zoe's had a rough morning. We love her. She cries a lot, but send her your well wishes.
Yeah.
Shawn Vinson.
I can cry too if you need me to.
No, I'll do
I'm
it
a
for
crier.
both of us.
Remember that scene at Jerry Maguire? He's like, it goes on that show. He's like, I'm not going to cry. And then he goes on Roy's show. Everybody cries on this show, man.
Well, also, I had something actually really funny to show you. Because we got a shirt at the shop that has the Italian flag on it. And it says, if you like my meatballs, you should try my sausage.
I need that shirt.
I know, but they only had it one size and it looked...
Whoa. You just body shamed me. It wasn't in a medium?
Then
Then you just laugh. 3 put-ups. Zoe says 3 put-ups to 1 put-down.
Yeah.
That's good.
So you should do it now.
Okay. I didn't shame myself. You kind of did.
Yeah. I just
That's a
didn't
great
shame
shirt.
you at all. And shame is an internal complex that happens when...
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shawn, welcome to the show, man. You come highly regarded by our mutual friend and brother, Cam Jansen.
Cammy, yeah.
Who texted me this morning that you were the Wolf of Wall Street of the Lake of the Ozarks.
And Chris texted me and said, he's our Lord and Savior.
No, you said Jesus Christ. And that's I said our Lord and Savior.
I thought you were talking about...
No.
I don't know. Me and Shawn were talking about some deep shit before you got here, and he may be my savior because I'm feeling seen, man.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's gone through some very similar trials and tribulations.
For sure.
Okay, well, let's get down
Involving
Thank you.
our recovery 8-ball.
Yeah. I'm very, very familiar with that.
Will Zoe be okay?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's the question.
I know. I was like, yes, I'll be fine.
It says, call your sponsor. That might be the only answer that comes up in the recovery 8-ball.
Ashley.
Yeah, it's my.
That's good.
Shawn, you're in town. Sorry that you're for the reason you're in town. You're in town because you live now in Destin, Florida.
Right.
You're in town for a funeral, and sorry for stealing you from.
No, that's okay. Yeah. It's my wife's grandpa who was amazing to me. My wife's Italian.
God bless her.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Are you Italian?
I am.
Okay.
That's why she's
Sicilian.
being
Okay.
I did get my mom has Irish in her, and my Sicilian grandma would always tell her, "He got your fair skin," and it was not a compliment. My grandma Ouija, God rest her.
Did they grow up on the hill by chance?
Well, so we're East St. Louis Italians.
Okay.
Grew up in East St. Louis, and then they moved to Belleville during the riots. Whole thing, 60 Minutes did a story on it. Called us the most racist people in the world because of the Great White Flight, and back in the 80s and 90s. But I will tell you this: my grandma Ouija, who, just is like a hero figure in our family, I still make her meatballs to this day. Would go to the hill from East St. Louis once a week for groceries, and then they moved to Belleville, farther away from East St. Louis, here, kind of 5 minutes away from here,
Right.
and would still go to Viviano's, which has now been bought by De Gregorio's.
Yeah.
So this was my first Christmas at De Gregorio's.
Okay. So good segue.
Yeah.
So Viviano, John Viviano, is a good family friend. My wife's dad, so my father-in-law,
Okay.
his best friend, John Viviano,
No shit.
best friend, and it's Uncle Johnny.
All right.
So I meet my wife. She's very humble. She's the opposite of my father-in-law.
Okay.
He's very loud.
You said she's Italian, right?
Yeah, she's the quiet version. And so when I meet her, we go on a few dates, and I finally get her. This is going to sound terrible. I get her over to my house.
No, it's good. It's good. I got you.
Come on. That was the goal. Okay.
Remember what I told you I
Yeah.
said about my wife in a sermon?
Yeah, please forgive me. And so I had this room downstairs with like a projector. It was like the movie theater room. Right?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
that was the
Shawnee.
spot. Yeah. And so I'm like, you want to watch a movie? She's like, sure. So we go down there, and I've got like Scarface, poster up. I've got the Rat Pack and all this. And she's like, why do you have the Rat Pack? I'm like, it's just a cool era. Those guys are badass, She's like, oh, doesn't say anything.
Nice.
Fast forward, I go to her grandmother's house. There's the Rat Pack with this guy. I'm like, who's this guy? She's like, oh, that's my grandpa. Get the F out of here.
That is wild,
yeah,
man.
and so then her dad's like, oh yeah, you want to know stories? He comes over,
I gotta
he's
meet your
telling me
wife.
everything.
This is incredible. Hero.
So this is a really cool story. So he's like, oh, you heard my grandpa, or you heard my dad, da da da, and I'm like, no. He's like, you didn't tell him anything? She's like, Dad, shut up. She's very quiet, humble. So apparently, my wife's grandfather started the first restaurant on the hill, which was called Andrino's.
Okay.
And he is Andrino DeSantis. And so I heard this, but her dad's kind of crazy and can tell these outlandish sounding stories.
I can hear him.
Kind of believe, yeah. And it's like so much information. It's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to believe. He says his dad invented fettuccine Alfredo too. That's kind of hard to believe.
Let me tell you something about my old man.
Okay.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
It's a good story.
Uh-huh.
And so, anyway, so we go to, Charlie Gito's opened the one in West County on Olive.
Yeah.
And I was there and with my wife. We were dating still. And he came out because it was a new restaurant. Charlie Gito was there, and he comes over. He's like, how's the dinner? How's the dinner? And I said, hey, I got to ask you something. And she's like, don't. I said, you might know her grandfather, Andrino DeSantis. He drops on his knee. He's like, are you kidding me? Andrino, oh my God. And so I'm like, it's real. It's real.
This is wild, man.
So apparently Andrino's restaurant, everybody that worked there, the bus boys, everything, they've all got their restaurants on the hill now. He goes, name a restaurant. Charlie Gito was the bus boy.
Kind of birthed this.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason I won't
Yeah.
live on the hills, because I will fucking die of a heart attack after I turn into 400.
Yeah,
pounds.
right.
Oh my God.
So again, there's probably 70% truth to everything I've heard, but I've got it backed up by some legitimate sources there. It's really cool stories.
It's enough.
man.
And Zoe, tell Shawn where you're right now a barista at.
Cafe Dolce.
Right on Marconi and Dad.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
She swears by their cannoli too. Not gonna have a cannoli war on the air. I've already done that. But she says they make really good cannoli at Cafe Dolce.
They do. We routinely get reviews that say These are the best cannoli in town.
You can tell. You can tell.
Chris.
No.
He said,
I'm just a
quote. I won't quote it.
No, don't quote it. I am, when you got a guy, you go to the.
You got a guy.
And there's a little bit of a war going on over there at Missouri Bakery, but probably best left unsaid here.
We don't say that on the air.
Yeah, right. I got to meet your wife, and you got to give her my best. Yeah. Tell her ciao. I have family, and so my aunt Susan, my dad's older sister, this guy goes to SLU from Staten Island, meets her, marries her, takes her back to Staten Island. My grandpa never talked to him again. Yeah. And they never really like him again after that. But so we go, I've had cousins, her kids grew up in New York, and we get to go visit all the time. Been spending a lot of time in the Bronx lately at Arthur Avenue, which is like the OG Little Italy.
Wow, yeah.
Mulberry Street's it's touristy. It's great.
That's where I had my first cannoli.
Where? The Bronx or Mulberry?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. My second aunt lives in New York, and she has a brownstone in Spanish Harlem and was one of the architects on Freedom Tower.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. But
That's
it was
a big
my
deal.
first cannoli, and I thought about it like every day.
You have a rich second aunt.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
She sold her brother's minivan.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
I'm full of mystery.
Are you guys big? You eat a lot of Italian food or
Yes and no. Not like, it's not in our house every day.
Okay.
It's
my
tough. Wife doesn't,
She sounds a lot like my younger sister.
Yeah.
Quiet and humble.
Wait, I am on air. Where's the camera? My wife cooks great.
Right.
I have to clear the air. There's no insults.
So is she, her grandpa, where he passed away? You said at Carlisle,
He
right?
passed away. Well, that's not this grandpa we're talking about.
Sorry.
It's on the other side.
Got
it. Yeah, Grandpa Rob just passed away, but man, he was great. So he wasn't Italian, but when I met him, first time I knocked on their door, he opened the door and he had a gun in his hand, and he stands on the porch and he's like, I need you to pass the first test. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And he's a prankster. I didn't know it. And so he says, how do you pronounce this? And he holds up a cue card and it says, forget about it. He said, how do you pronounce this? And I go, forget about it? And he's like, no, say it like you mean it.
Oh my God.
I love this
And
guy.
so he's messing with me. And then he's like, all right, after about 5 of those, he's like, you can go in,
What a cool family, man.
They welcomed me from day one. And I know this is a recovery podcast, man. And when they found out about my issues, they didn't try to kick me out, or it was like, he's family. I mean, I'm married into the best family in the world.
Amen, man. When we were talking before the show and you were talking about some of the business stuff and during active addiction, and then you had mentioned I got a wife and a daughter and how they supported you and walked with you through it. That's all I could think about. So, now you're talking about this family. That is really, really cool, man. There's so much. It's a disease of a family, right? And it can really break and destroy a family and send them down some shame spirals, some codependency nightmares. And when people ask me, being affiliated with Illinois Recovery Center, what sets us apart from other treatment centers, and I give a respectful, unbiased answer, which is hard to do. It's always my first answer is our family program. We've had the director of our family program, Kevin Bunton, who Zoe from Underground. He's been
Shout
on the
out
podcast.
Kevin.
He's the best. But he has this curriculum, and he's a family clinician and in recovery. And we it's not in every treatment center, and it's almost criminal that it's not.
Yeah.
We bring in after the first week, we do a blackout week, right? So you can reset, detox, and we talked about earlier, get that fucking phone out of your hands and get feeling well.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesdays and Saturdays are family days. There's kids that can come in and visit. Kevin works with the families separately from us to educate, to talk about discharge plans, boundaries, what are healthy, what are unhealthy. And it is to think that it's not just standard operating procedure in other treatment centers is scary, because you can't just treat the symptoms of us, send us back on our way and think it's all good now.
Right.
Yeah.
So to hear that you had a support system,
Well,
it's a gift.
It's the only reason I'm sober
Really?
and clean. It 100% is. My wife, I've given her all the credit on Facebook. She doesn't want any of it, which makes her even more amazing. You know, she's awesome. But I'm one of the lucky ones that she didn't leave. She was trying to leave.
Sure.
She wanted to leave, and but she didn't. And because of that last stay,
Mm-hmm.
it stuck for me. It was, you know, like I remember coming in the house. You know, my addiction was alcohol, cocaine, mainly cocaine. Controlled my life.
Yeah.
It was deep. You know, 20 years I was doing it, and I was functioning. You know, work hard, play hard kind of guy. And then that turned into work very little, but you think you're working hard, but really it's just hard to work.
Right.
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 You're hungover as shit.
Mm.
And we can cuss on here, right?
100%. Amen.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know if I had to
You
be.
said F earlier, and I was like,
Did
let
he?
it rip, let it rip.
Yeah.
Say it.
Okay, keep going.
Pussy.
See, Elaine, her mom, God love her to death, is a big fan and listens. And she told Zoe that sometimes Chris says fuck a lot. But I'm like, did she hear? Maybe she's tuned out her daughter, who has quite the mouth herself.
She's an angel.
Right,
That's my
right,
baby.
Right. So
She would
welcome to the
never.
club, Shawn.
Okay, good.
Like Zoe said, let them rip.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. ADD.
No, so I love what you said. You said you work hard, play hard, and then it becomes hard to work, but you think you're working hard.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the coke addiction.
And I'm convincing myself and telling people I'm
Sure.
working hard. And then you guys know this, it's a full-time job. The excuses or cover up becomes so much work.
Hmm.
And
You got to remember all the story. You got to
Yeah.
remember the lies, right?
yeah. And then the lies would get vaguer because they'd be easier to recover from when someone's like, I thought you said you were going here. No, it's just,
Yeah,
you know, it's
what had
Thursday.
happened was...
Yeah. You know, I learned you stop giving specifics because
Mhm.
people remember those details.
And towards the end, it's just sloppy as fuck. And
Yeah.
The only person you're lying to is yourself. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
At that time. You had mentioned, and I want to get to the
Hold
beginning.
on, I want to say
Go
something
ahead, please.
on that
Sorry.
because this is a good segue. So I tell this when I tell my story sometimes that I thought I had everybody fooled, you know, for a long time. And I'd wear a suit, put on a full suit and tie, go to work, and then playing that game, you know, work and party life. And again, thought I was fooling everyone, convincing myself everything was okay. And then my wife, we had a newborn, and she's like, I don't want it here. I don't want it around.
Right, right.
And it was in the house, and I was bringing people over all the time.
Mhm.
You
You're
know,
talking about the newborn?
The cocaine.
the cocaine was coming in the house all the time, and you know, CPS could have came at any time, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I just
100%,
kept
man.
pushing that envelope. And then finally, my wife was like, "You need help," and she knows that I had tried treatment a couple times before, and I used to say it doesn't work, but it was me not working what I
Sure.
learned.
Whoa, yeah.
I just went to like shut family up or whoever I was dating at the time, quiet the noise, and then
Mhm.
clean. I used to call it clean out the pipes.
Okay.
And then we're back at it again, you know, a month or two later. I did that a lot for 20 years. And it got to a point where our daughter was 2 years old, and I'm fighting with my wife. And the reason is I didn't want to, I knew I needed help. And I would tell her, I know I need help. I'm just not ready yet. I'm just not ready. You got to wait till I'm ready. It doesn't work until they're ready. I'm not ready. Yeah, I knew all the words.
Sure.
And I said, so then I pick up my daughter one day. I come in, I'm jacked up.
How old is she at this time?
She's 2.
Okay.
She can't say her R's yet. And I hold her up to my face, and she said, Daddy, your eyes look weird. That was it.
Boom.
That was the gut. That was the
Out
dagger
of
to the
mouths of
heart.
babes.
And it just, everything went like in the movie. Fast forward, frying pan to the face. You can't fool a fucking 2-year-old, bro.
Mm.
What
So
are
that's
you
what you were,
doing?
when I was saying you're only lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody, even your 2-year-old sees it.
She saw something. She has no, she doesn't remember it, you know, thank God.
Yeah.
But it was that like, whoa.
That's
Because I used to
profound.
come in the house, you know, the spray in the mouth, Visine, I had Visine everywhere, had Flonase everywhere, clean up, blow my nose before I go in, look good. Hey.
Any cartilage left in that nose of yours?
In this big ass nose, there's tons of cartilage left. But yeah, definitely deviated septum. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
I've known people that have fucking snorted a hole through their shit.
God.
Yeah. Not
because
me,
what
but
happens, I mean, not to just when you think of the drug addict under the bridge, but to fucking Artie Lang snorted glass, and you saw what happened to his fucking nose.
Yeah, collapsed.
I mean, and it got nasty. Like people start cutting with all kinds of, chemicals and God knows what's in it. So it really, people that do a lot, like for 20 years of cocaine use to come unscathed from that's pretty lucky.
There was a couple scares that were kind of eye-opening to like, okay, it's time. The final okay, it's time was the 2-year-old saying those words. But there was a guy, there was a place in St. Charles I would go to. It was a little tiny hole in the wall. And I liked it because I knew the bartender. I could go do drugs in the bathroom and I felt safe. I like going places where
Leave
I felt
the barmaid
safe.
one cut out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You know the deal. We're all cool. Free drinks and all that stuff. And when I would go there, it was a tiny hole in the wall, but me and a couple guys would always run into each other there. And we would always do it together. And if I had it, we did it. If they had it, we did it. Right. And if we didn't, we'd go up the street.
That's a good thing.
That was the other thing. A drug dealer was 1.2 miles down
we would
the
have
road.
been best fucking friends.
We would have had a great time.
I mean,
we probably would have killed each other.
Yeah,
but
that's
we had a great
also,
time doing it.
Right.
So this one time, I didn't go with them, or I was going to go up there and didn't for whatever reason. Last minute, didn't go there. They did, and they bought drugs and it had fentanyl in it, and one died, and the other one had brain damage. And I was on my way there.
Oh my!
I would have done it. So that was one, because that was when this.
How long ago was that?
It's like 6 years ago. No, I'm 7 years sober. So
okay,
about around then, probably 8 years ago.
It's
because that's when fentanyl was
8
first.
to 10 years is when fentanyl, and now you can't even get heroin because it's only fentanyl out there. Like
God dang.
We say often here, I've said it on this show a lot, like giving tours, and I've heard it from Eric Jacob, who you met earlier. We in treatment wish we could go back to black tar heroin because the medically assisted treatment program works better for. I mean, fentanyl, you get precipitated withdrawal. It's just nasty fucking shit, and it's killing people left and right.
Yeah,
and I've heard probably in the hundreds of stories of people ODing doing blow because it's got fentanyl in it.
Yeah,
Adderall because it's got fentanyl in it,
wow.
and it's in weed now. People that check in here, Shawn, under the guise of I'm here for alcoholism and I do some cocaine or speed or I smoke weed, are all popping positive for fentanyl and xylazine.
And they don't even know it.
Have no fucking idea
Why?
And it's that frying pan that you said.
Yeah.
When as soon as we go to them and say, just so you know, are you telling us everything? Or and you could see it in their eyes. They had no fucking idea.
Wow.
And it's so scary, man.
Very
As a
scary.
dad, like there's kids that are studying for tests in high school and getting Adderall on the street, and it's got fentanyl in it, and it's so fucking scary. So,
wow.
How old is your daughter now?
She is 10.
Okay,
She's 10, man. And so,
What an age for a young lady.
yep. And she knows. She knows she helped me get sober,
Wow.
and clean. I tell her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go into descriptive
Sure.
detail to scare the poor child to death, but she knows, and she's hashtag BFF, my best friend on Facebook. Now that she's getting 10, I'm not BFF anymore. It's like, okay, Dad, whatever. That's it's changing. But boy, we had hats that said BFF.
Nice.
Oh yeah. But we skipped over too when I was talking about my wife's support. This was the biggest thing. So again, I never gave respect to 12-step programs. I didn't want to go to meetings. I didn't like it. You know why? They tell you what to do. I don't like it. I don't like being told what to do.
You and Chris would have been good.
Yeah. But it turns out I need to be told what to do. And so, but anyway, so I was trying to quit on my own.
It's really liberating
again.
to finally say, fuck, man, I don't know it all.
Yeah.
Help
the
me
weight
out.
off. The
Right.
weight off.
I had a coffee with a girl this morning, and we had the same conversation. Like, once you realize that, and it's stop beating your head on the wall, and you're like, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
I'll just ride in the passenger seat for a minute. You tell me and take me. And
Yeah.
It's liberating because it's a lot. It is hard to know it all.
Yeah.
It's a big job.
It's
and
a
we
weight.
do as active. We know it all.
I can figure it out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. Look, like my dad would say, how'd that work out for you? It's not working out, pal.
Right.
And so your wife,
what I was going to say was there was this time when, I was quitting. It was probably just a couple weeks of sobriety time, and I'm just white knuckling it. It is terrible. I'm hating life, but I'm staying home. And she didn't have a problem. She drank with her friends and probably drank in excess occasionally, but what we would call in St. Charles a very average drinker. And she came home one night after a couple drinks, not a big deal, and she came home and kissed me, and I got pissed off. Her breath tasted like wine. I don't even like wine, but it pissed me off, and it was because it was not fair. How come I can't do what you just did? I can't fucking do that shit. And I was mad, and she was like, I said, I'm not mad at you. I'm just talking loud. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know why I'm talking so loud. And she goes, I'll quit. And I'm like, no, I don't want, no, you're not the problem. I'm the problem, because I was poor me, bad guy. And she's like, if it's between a glass of wine and my husband or my marriage, it's my marriage every single day.
Wow.
And I just looked at her and I'm like, nobody does that. You don't understand what you're saying. I don't know anyone that's done that. I'm sure they have.
Sure.
But it's rare in our culture of recovery for the spouse to not say, you're the one that's really messed up. Go fix you. There's nothing wrong with me having a glass of wine every once in a while. And she hasn't drank since.
Really?
She cut just like that.
God bless her, man.
Yeah. She's amazing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to relate. So my wife has never been like, she hears some of the shit we did. I mean, she's kind of a dork. God bless her. I love her so much. She's from LA, like never done a drug, moved to the Midwest, and they're like, "Oh, that suits you, sweetheart." Like, she didn't know if that was a compliment or not. But she'll have, a couple glasses of wine or maybe an old fashioned at dinner. And it's never been what my fascination with it is when I go to clean out the fridge and we've had people over or she's had a bottle of wine sitting in there for 2 or 3 weeks, half drink. And once I'm like, are you throwing that out? Like, yeah. I'm pouring it down.
What are we doing with this thing?
I could sell that in Belleville. There's proof in that. I don't get somebody fucked up. I just can't fathom it. Like, how did you not just drink the bottle?
Yeah.
Like, you mean you had one and stop? And to me, I get fascinated. I'm like that. But it's a reminder. I can't do that. I
can't.
No fucking way. And we laugh about it because I'm pouring it out, and I'm like, this is against my religion.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You aren't. And so that's been in our house. It's never. And but God bless. What's your wife's first
Nina.
name? Okay,
Nina Vinson.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
She's amazing. Nina.
Yeah.
Nina Nicole.
Ninas aren't quiet and humble usually.
She's the quiet one, man.
That's like the Italian. I can picture like an aunt, grandma's hair.
Well, here's what's funny. So when I first met her, she was working at a restaurant that was by my office, and I would always go there for lunch, not to drink. Actually, I would actually go there to eat, but I would sit at the bar, not to drink during lunch. Maybe I did at the end, but in the beginning, it was like we could go there. It was right down the street, get a quick lunch, go back to the office, and get back to work. And we'd always go in, and there was a female bartender that worked there, and she would have our order ready. We'd text her what we want. It was cool.
Wow.
And boom, boom, boom. We get in and out of there in like 25 minutes. And then, but being the bartender, she would always hear stories. We talked to her, hear about who we dated and da-da-da. And so finally, Nina comes walking by with a tray of food, and I go, "Who's that?" And she goes, "She's not your type." And I go, "What do you mean?"
Didn't ask.
Yeah. She goes, "She's really sweet. She's nice. She's kind." And like, I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean?
That's what people said about Ashley, Zoe.
Yeah.
I believe that. That's what they still say. I met Chris, and I was not expecting that.
Yeah. So I just kept trying to like ask her out. But if you ask her, she'd be like, "He never asked me out." I was so nervous to even try.
Really?
Oh, it was terrible. And I was not shy, but I was so.
Yeah, you don't seem like
it was terrible. And she's working, she's like, "Hi, weirdo guy. I don't even know you."
Get hit on by probably everybody.
Yeah. And so finally I said, hey, you know, I'd like to ask you out, but every time I ask you, you're really kind and you're like, it's such a nice no. Is it really a no? And she's like, okay, you ask me out. You always ask me out that night. That answer is always going to be no. I'm busy. I go to school full time. I work full time. You usually ask me on a Thursday. On Thursdays, I take my grandma and aunts and uncles to the casino because they can't drive.
I mean, but these are like amazing attributes. Like,
Like,
Oh yeah, I'm like, who
She's
are
also
you?
been keeping track. Like, like she knew you were gonna.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, I love it.
But I'm like, she sounds like an angel.
Yeah.
And so finally I said, okay, anytime, any day of the next few months, can you become free at any time during those day or evenings? And she's kind of laughed. She's like, all right, we'll figure it out. I'm like, boom, I'm in. So about a couple weeks later, we go to a Blues game. And of course I slam 2 beers before I pick her up.
Sure. That's
You
just
know,
common.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She gets in, I got 2 beers in the cup holders and she's like, oh, wow. Okay. So we had a good time, but she thought I was funny. That was
All
it.
she wrote.
Yeah, and I told her on the first date, I go, you probably shouldn't say this, but I think we're probably going to get married and have kids. And she's like, yeah, you really should never say
No,
that.
man.
Never. I go, I know I shouldn't, but I'm saying it anyways.
Look at you now.
Yeah. I was like, I told you. 10 years later, yeah.
If somebody says that to you on a first date, Zoe, then run for the fucking hills.
Don't. Yeah, it's terrible news.
You already know.
Yeah.
You already know.
I'm going to use the restroom and then
Yeah.
pull out of the.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning. So you grew up St. Charles.
St. Charles guy, yeah.
St. Charles County. You know where St. Charles is, right? She's Decatur, proud Illinois.
Okay.
It's where I get my prescriptions.
Oh, that's right.
You can get anything from St. Charles.
Oh, yeah.
She drives. That's right. So she lives the east of the hill and goes to St. Charles to get her meds. Which, do we have our alarm on our phone? Last podcast, our alarm would go off and to take her meds. And,
Okay.
which is very important, Shawn. We need her medicated.
Well, I saw that coming in the
Oh, and that's medicated.
Right.
That's the good version? That's the after? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
After my morning dose. No, in the afternoon, it's fine. I actually only take it twice a day. So.
Right. When the sun starts to set, it's good.
9 and 6.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Between the hours of 9 and 6. Got it.
But so growing up over here in Belleville, I think there's a ton of similarity between outside those two rivers.
On the
right?
outskirts. Yeah, that's right.
You know, there's a small town, a lot of taverns. What high school did you go to?
Fort Zumwalt South.
I only know of the Fort Zumwalt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hit it hard in high school?
No.
Really?
No. I was the shyest kid in school.
Whoa.
I was the most insecure kid. So I was the shortest kid other than Craig Brush. Shout out to Craig Brush. He's a little person.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
we're still friends online. But
what'd you call me? Small man?
Oh my.
Anyway.
No, but anyway, so like freshman, just to show you, freshman year I wrestled and I was not good. I went 0-16. I was, and my dad's like, he's a fighter, boy. He just kept
That's
going.
Like Rams shit.
Yeah,
before they left.
When they were giving the tickets away.
Right.
It was terrible.
God bless you though for sure. 0-16, baby.
Dude, I wrestled. The lowest class was 90 pounds, and guys are running with trash bags trying to shed weight. And I was 83 pounds trying to eat pasta and donuts. I was not running.
Damn.
It was terrible. And I had no experience. And I was wrestling as experienced people do. I got my ass kicked.
It's a lot of lessons and
I learned so
losses
much. And then
wins.
my dad's like, you going to do it next year? I'm like, absolutely not. He's like, yeah, but you have determination. I'm like, had it's gone.
Got it beat the fuck out of me. So
God bless.
Yes.
put me on the basketball court or something.
Yes. So I struggled with confidence and being secure. And then, I always hung out with guys a year older than me.
Sure.
We're still all friends today. But alcohol came around and we all liked alcohol. And so I was the kid a year younger trying to fit in with the guys a year older. And I was smaller. And
Natty Light specials?
Alcohol, anything we could get at that point.
It's cheaper. Natty Light was cheaper.
Light.
Actually, it was Natural Light and Bud Light because we got into my friend's parents' basement.
Nice.
They had a fridge stock. They were big drinkers.
Good.
My parents
And they
have a
didn't
fridge
know
like
it was
that.
missing. So it was great. But I noticed with alcohol, I could be funny, crazy, silly, and then do crazy shit to make the older guys think I'm funnier. And that was like, okay, that's how I'm fitting in.
Yep.
And that just rolled until I quit, honestly. It was how crazy can I be? And obviously, you add in cocaine, it got crazier.
Sure. And you could drink more.
I
always tell people that alcohol was my primary drug of choice, and I would do a lot of coke so I could drink more alcohol. And kind of hearing your story before we got on, which I'm fascinated with because I think it had become the inverse, but we'll get there. So when did you go to school, like after high school? Or did you go right into work?
No, I tried college, but they didn't take attendance. So never went.
There goes that accountability,
failed.
right?
Yeah. And it was the community college. So again,
they were on you, huh?
Did not want to go ever. I struggled through high school, and boy, graduating, I had to take a correspondence course as a backup credit to make sure I graduated, and I did. And it was like, I did it. And then they're like, what about college? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Yeah. And they're like, well, you're either if you're living in our house, you either work full time,
right,
start paying rent, or
Fair.
go to college. I'm like, I'll try college.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I super
Sounds
don't
easier.
want to.
Yeah. So of course I go the last day for signups of the community college, and it was all the worst classes available. I'm like,
all the like basket weaving classes were already taken.
I don't even remember what it was, but it was like I was in there with like 40-year-old people, dude, and I'm like, this is not cool. And so I'm like, I'm not going. So I flunked out, and then started working full time. And then
family business or
no, just like Pizza Hut, delivering pizzas and stuff like that, and whatever I had to do. But then we would make enough money to buy weed and beer and go to my friend's apartment. He had a studio apartment, and we would pack 6 of us in there and just smoke weed, dude. It was,
I can smell that.
It was smaller than this office. It was ridiculous.
That's horrible.
It was so bad. And we thought it was cool. He had his own place.
Yeah.
So cool.
Everybody else in that building is like,
oh yeah, just smoke pouring out of this place. But anyway, so it started with that, but I never liked pot. I never liked weed. It kept me down.
Sure.
And then, fast forward, one of our friends, his boss they worked at a store. I'll just stop there. His boss was like 5 years older than him, and he's like, hey, there's this nightclub downtown, why don't I take you with me? So when he turned 21, he took him to a place called Velvet. I don't know if you ever heard of Velvet. Downtown. This was
downtown St. Louis.
Cheetah, Velvet. It was ecstasy rave type era. And so
Club Velvet.
Yeah.
Was it Club Velvet or Velvet?
It was just called Velvet, dude. It was the baddest place in the
world.
Oh.
It sounds a little nasty, and I've been to some.
And so, anyway, so we're just regular kids drinking beer, doing our thing. But you go to Velvet, and everyone's on ecstasy. And it was like still unheard of at the time. And
boy, does it fuck with your serotonin, man.
Oh, yeah. The Sunday scaries. That's what we called it.
It's the worst coming down from it because it takes you so high. So much like, I mean, it's fucking bad.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go that high and come down like that, man.
But I never experienced that. The only thing I experienced was alcohol and weed, which are Debbie Downers, right? And then we go there, and we didn't know this, but the guy that was taking us, there was a line down the sidewalk, and we'd walk right past that and get in with him. And we're like, this is great. And he was a drug dealer.
I was like, so he's dealing to everybody.
Yeah, he's shaking hands with the door owner, but he's giving them drugs, and we were going in, and I got addicted to that. I'm like, the little skinny kid from school who could never talk to a girl. All of a sudden, first of all, you go in with this guy, all the girls come to him, and I'm like, I'm part of this thing.
Sure.
I didn't even know existed. So I didn't know this world existed.
Like worse than peer pressure. It's like peer affirmation. Like
when you're not used, when you don't have it, you go from, it's like ecstasy. When you go from not a lot to here you are, that's fucking addicting.
Yeah, it was very addicting. The lifestyle alone was.
And here you're young 20s.
Oh yeah, 21. And I'm like, I'm doing this every night. And so we went every Friday and Saturday for years. And then that grew. And then the friends I was doing that with.
Were you rolling balls every night you went there?
Oh yeah. Crazy. And then
what is that again, you guys?
Ecstasy.
Oh.
This is what they call it if you're rolling. Yeah.
Okay.
Rolling balls.
Have you never rolled your balls off?
Yeah, it means you're
well,
really
we're talking
rolling.
about a lot of balls, which I'm not surprised about. But there's 8-ball, meatball, and then what was the one you just like? I already
rolling balls.
rolling
Rolling balls.
That's I just.
Yeah. And so it was crazy. And thank God there weren't cell phones like there are now, because evidence is horrible.
Yeah, man.
I looked horrible. I was still this little skinny kid.
I went to Talladega, Alabama 10
off.
years in a row. And if there were fucking cell phone evidence of one, let alone 10 of those trips, I would be in prison.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. But
Blow with cops. Yeah.
I shouldn't glorify it too much. It was just, for me, my point I'm trying to say is I went from this insecure kid to I felt like I was somebody, even though it was fake in this little world, but it was a different thing.
No, it's real, man.
Yeah.
And I would go back and tell my friends who had never, and I'm like, and they're like, dude, shut up. I go, you don't understand, dude. It's like something out of the movies. We're from St. Peter's back then, which was like corn stalks and
you're getting VIP at a club in downtown St. Louis. That's a big fucking deal, man.
It was weird. I said, dude, people pull up in like Jaguars. I don't even know anybody has a Jaguar. Right. They pull up in a Jaguar and there's a guy that parks it for them. I'd never even seen ballet before, you know? It was crazy. And so we just got right in. And so my normal friends were like, okay, that was fun every once in a while, but Shawn, you're doing a little too much. I'm like, screw you guys.
Every Friday.
I'm going back.
Right.
And then I started really getting involved in that and making new friends, you know, different levels of friends. And I had an agreement with my boys that we don't do cocaine or heroin. You know, we'll do ecstasy. It's just a pill. It's innocent. We don't even know what's in the pill, right? And then I remember I broke up with a girl because she did coke one time. And then
look at you.
I became a cokehead. Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Fucking Judge McJudgerson over here.
Yeah, totally. But
that's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it just knowing where the story's headed. I mean, ironic, right?
Yeah.
You showed her.
But yeah, I showed her, boy. Yeah, look at me. Ruined my entire life.
And like looking back at it now, ecstasy scared the fuck out of me more than blow did. Because of what you said, you don't know what's in it, and it really fucking it destroys your brain and your serotonin, man.
Yeah.
But it is funny how we justify. Like I remember about 2 years out of treatment, actually a girl and a guy, they're a married couple, younger couple. When I was at church, I'd met them in the core group that you know about. It's a small group we do at this church we go to. Andrew was a resident at Children's. He's actually Charlie's godfather now, and his wife Allie. Allie and I were going to some church thing, and she was asking me kind of like, "What did you?" I was like, "Oh, I did. Yeah, I did a lot of coke." And she's like, "Did you ever smoke crack?" I'm like, "No, I didn't fucking smoke no crack." And she's like, "Oh, judgmental fucking drug addict."
The nerve.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, "How fucking dare you? I didn't smoke no fucking crack. I'm doing coke off strippers' ass cheeks."
I'm a crackhead. I'm a cokehead.
Right. Yeah. For real though. So that reminded me that
hilarious.
Broke up with some girl because you were rolling balls and she did coke.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. But again, just shows where we were, right? The justification, the things that I would say I'm okay with certain things, you know,
sure.
I don't know. It's just a whole different world from where I'm at today too, which is crazy to think about. But, man, I'm just grateful.
Were you working a job? Did you ever start dealing while you were hanging out in these?
Kind of, but not really. More
kind of
just
like middleman shit.
Yeah, just to get more for myself. Right. You know,
sure,
not to make money.
You didn't have to pay for yours if you could pay a couple bucks to your buddy. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, because my head was starting to get a little expensive, but if I can mark mine up a little bit,
was
get
really
for
expensive.
The boys.
I'm an 02 high school grad. What?
Okay, 94.
Okay,
2018.
Stop it.
In case you were wondering,
no, we weren't.
It's so great you have your daughter on with us.
Right. Well, that's some symbolism there, but God, takes a village, right, Zoe?
Daughter's better than personal assistant.
Sure.
Just the last question I got asked.
No, Joe Perry's doing a fine job, and he has his
Shout
hands
out
full.
Joe Perry.
Like in high school, X was really expensive.
Yeah.
But I didn't. It was, I think, 19 when I did my first line. And I wanted to ask you, when did it change to coke?
Yeah, so about probably 4 years into this ecstasy world.
Mid-20s?
Early 20s, 23, I think. because I started working for my dad's business.
Okay.
So that business I mentioned started taking off and doing well. And my friends were like, dude, you're an idiot if you don't. And I'm like, I'm not working for the man. I'm not, they all wear suits, man. I'm not going to wear a freaking suit.
Hands.
Oh, I was total like, yeah. And then they're like, you should probably wear a suit. Like, I'm like,
And get up and go to work.
Yeah. So
Very
I
similar.
start working there. And this is kind of good. And this is funny. So my dad starts me in the marketing department as data entry, which if you know, that's literally like, I don't even think we had a data entry person before I started. It was a created job.
Sure.
Go put these numbers in that computer. It was boring. I would go out and live this rock star lifestyle and then have to come and sit in a cubicle in a suit, which I hated. It itched my neck. And
Get up early
and report. And on day one, my dad's like, all right, come on in. And he's like, all right, come in. I'm going to close the door. He said, it's your first day here. He said, I just want to let you know, everyone's going to hate you. I need you to come in earlier than you're scheduled and stay later. You know, in your little department, you turn the lights on and you turn the lights off.
If you're going to work for dad, that's...
Yeah.
I did the same thing, man.
And
I worked for my old man.
And you're the lowest paid in the company. And I'm like...
Wait a second.
I'm like, what did I just fucking sign up for? This sounds terrible.
Right.
And he's like, all right, well, have a good day. And he walks off. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, this is your boss, Mike. So anyways, I did that for a year. And I think it was like $21,000 a year salary or something like that, but I never had salary. I'm like, well, at least it's consistent. This is kind of cool. And then,
good for your,
I respect him now. I hated it, but now I'm like, it's the best thing he ever did.
Sure.
And I needed some
My
structure.
old man did the same thing when I came in, and got out of the bar scene at the same age. I was bartending. I was fucking hitting it hard. And and he's like, it's time to, and he thought it would chill me the fuck out. I mean, he was drinking whiskey and doing blow, and but at least he was getting up and going to work, and I was drunk going to a bartending shift.
Yeah.
But exact same kind of speech. God bless.
Yeah.
Dads of ours for sure.
Well, this is a good segue too, because you mentioned George earlier.
Yeah.
George Hansford. And so,
just on our train wreck friend.
Train wreck saloon guy.
Remember?
Oh.
Bearded George from Key West.
We just recorded with George.
So anyways, our office was in Westport Plaza in the Gold Building, which was about...
Oh, really?
Oh,
it was
that's where the
train wreck.
I remember.
Okay, now here you go. There she is.
remember.
She's back.
So our office doors were literally like 80 feet from the door of train wreck.
So I was on Weldon Parkway.
Oh, yeah, right there. Right
we,
there.
We may have done coke at Westport.
We probably did coke at Westport.
This is beautiful.
Isn't it?
Let's be honest. We've done coke. We've done it.
When we lived at, we would train wreck, but Patrick's was where Tom and I were always at.
Oh,
Yep.
Wow.
So, anyways, I started seeing these sales guys. They were loan officers, and they were on 100% commission, but they were driving Corvettes and BMWs, and I'm like,
for your mortgage company,
for my dad's company, and I'm like, what do those guys do? And he's like, I don't think you're ready for that. I'm like, I need to figure out what they're doing.
Sure.
This $21,000 a year salary just ain't working for me right now. And so, I start going asking those guys, you think I can do your job? Like, and they're like, oh, dude, it's freaking easy. It's easy. And I'm like, I don't know, man. You know, me and my buddies, we go out hard. He goes, dude, we go harder. I'm like, he goes, we have fun and we make a lot of money. I'm like, hey, Dad, I want to start doing what those guys do. And next thing you know, man, I was called Shawnee. They took Shawnee under their wing. These guys were probably 10 years older than me. I was probably 23. They were 33. And it was freaking crazy. It was Wolf of Wall Street stuff, man. Truly like the movie, you know, the stockbrokers, but we were mortgage guys, and they were experienced. I wasn't. I didn't know that you could like rent a hotel suite and have parties in a hotel before. I didn't know you could. They were throwing parties like every week.
Clients?
There was something. No, just their friends. They were all this massive older group of party friends. So again, I got into this new circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm telling my old high school buddies about it, and they're like, dude.
Seeing some things like repeat a little, but like getting more intense. Like the older friends.
And it was leveling up. More money.
Good term.
More money. The party scene was leveling up.
Sure.
I was just seeing crazy things. Like we went to this one guy's party, and they're like, oh, we're going to, they had a nickname for him. I won't say it. But they had we're going to this guy's party. It's a blast. And I'm like, whatever. So I get in the van. The guy had a custom van with TVs. I'm like, this is kind of
very
cool.
nice.
And they were cocaine guys. I was ecstasy guys.
So you're still You haven't.
I haven't crossed over quite yet, or I'm just starting. But they're like, hey, Shawn, you got any more of those happy pills? They called them happy pills.
Sure.
They didn't know what they were, but they loved them. And so I would give them that, and they would provide cocaine. So we go to this party. We're out driving in the middle of the woods, and I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, it opens up, and there's cars parked everywhere.
Nice.
And there is a band with concert speakers in the middle of the woods, bonfires. And I'm like, what is this? And they're like, they get out of the van and everyone's like, hey, they're here. Like, these guys are celebrities for this big party. And I'm like, what am I involved with? And I'm just trailing along. And after about an hour or so, I'm just not even talking to anybody. I'm just in awe. And they're like, hey, Shawnee, go back to the van. We got something for you back there. I'm like, okay. So I go back to the van to open it, and there's a naked lady in there. Lady. I'm like 23 years old. She's like, are you Shawnee? I'm like,
I was, but now I'm
now I'm going to be Shawnal the third. Yeah. But that kind of craziness. And as a young kid, I loved it. I'm like,
she take care of you to make a man.
Oh my
allegedly.
God, next.
We got to know each other a little bit. She was a nice lady.
So always trying to, her eyes twitching.
Yeah.
When I say something nasty, her eye twitches.
No, but it was just unheard of. And I go back and tell my friends, and they're like, dude, shut up. They think I'm lying. I'm like,
but you're like seeing it be normal and everyday for these other people. And so you're like, they can do it. Like, I can do it. And I got 10 years to level up to where they're doing.
That's right. Yep. And so fast forward, that next level up was Lake of the Ozarks. So my dad buys a lake house. I think my dad starts going through his midlife crisis.
Yes.
And he buys this beautiful $2 million property on the water.
Damn.
Because again, business was going great.
Right. Yeah.
And he and my ex stepmom, they bought that together, and then they started having their divorce issues shortly after that. Well, guess what? It was time for dad and son to start hanging out. And he's freshly single.
Mm-hmm.
And the lake house became a party house.
Yep.
And
wow, man.
Just kept leveling up.
Did you party with your old man?
No, not with drugs, but he may have. I don't know. Okay. One of my friends swears, he's like, I swear I did something with your dad. I did coke with your dad. I'm like, still don't know if he's lying or not, but hey, maybe. But my dad knew about all my stuff because again, that depression that would hit, I would, tell my dad everything. Like,
sure.
Man, I did all this, and I feel I'm a big loser. I did everything but tell him about suicidal thoughts.
But you had them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But it was just because that's such a crash. I did it again. I'm talking about all the highs. I need to talk about the truth, man. I mean, the fucking lows, bro.
And that type of like ecstasy abuse will really, I mean, the only like when people talk about, when I've met people that are diagnosed bipolar and they have the high manic episodes.
Were you nodding towards me?
No. I thought he was talking about me.
No,
and I was like,
not.
Can you chill?
No. But, we've had a good friend of mine, and Mike Wellington who's written a book. It was a professional golfer it's called Birdies, Bogeys, and Bipolar Disorder. And he does a lot of work for that community. The only thing, when people talk about their highs and lows, I think of ecstasy ups and come downs, and that is a choice. I mean, to have that be it really, I mean, it brings out the fucking empathy out of my ass for people that suffer from like bipolar 1.
Yeah.
And I mean, all of them. I think there's a couple different flavors of it. I'm not a clinician.
No, but what I've heard of people with bipolar 1, it sounds similar. Like the plummet. Yeah.
And that
overnight,
what goes up, and it hits the ground so fucking hard to where I would almost think you're fucked up if you didn't have some suicidal fucking ideation.
Yeah.
When you were crashing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the amounts I was doing was excessive.
I mean, just from what you're telling me, I did it 3 or 4 times in high school, and then I found some good stuff in college for a little bit. And then a girlfriend of mine in college, basically overdosed on it, and it scared the fuck out of all of us to stop doing X, just stick to whiskey and blow.
Yeah.
Because the blow come down was just watching a ceiling fan until you fall asleep, but nothing like that fucking roller coaster drop that was just crushing. And it's important to talk about because, the first roll is the fucking best experience of your life. And it's just, it's you'll never feel it again. It's going to take you down a nastiest fucking road. And I was going to ask you if you remember your first line of Blow.
I do. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't work. And it was probably, I don't know. I was probably fucked up from something else. But I used to be like, oh, yeah, it doesn't work on me. But I was willing to try it. And I thought it was weird. And then there was a few times where I'm like, oh, wait, that does work. That's different. Mm-hmm. And it became easier to get. Pills were getting harder to get at the time. And then again, I was with these.
And you got caught with X. They came after it. The law enforcement started really.
Well, in the beginning, I'm older. So in the beginning, it was unheard. Like you could show it to the cops. They didn't even know what it was. It was like, nobody knew what it was. That's what we loved. It was secretive. We're in this thing. Nobody knows what we're doing.
Exclusive, which it sounds like from the time you were a kid, like you were excluded. So it's like being on the other side of it. It doesn't matter.
It's a great perspective, and you're exactly right. Yeah, and I felt part of the cool kids club that I was never in.
Yeah.
Sure. And they were. I mean, the reason I asked that, the first line of coke that I guess for my first line, it hit me, and it was never as good as that first one for the 10 years.
That's right.
After it, I was always chasing that first line again, and it never could get there. It was, I'd have to do more and more and more. That first line lasted me all fucking night, and I was, it was amazing. Wow. And then chasing the fucking tail.
That. Yep, exactly.
For 10 plus years. So your time in the Ozarks, and that's how you met our friend Cam. Just partying down there. And
we kind of crossed paths.
Have you been to the Ozarks, Zoe?
I did just go for a bachelorette trip.
Okay. So you did experience it then. Yeah.
It was quite the time. Like it was rainy and
whose
poor
bachelorette
weather.
trip?
One of my high school best friends, Hannah.
Oh, I think I remember you talking about Hannah. I get all inquisitive. Sorry.
Hannah, if you're listening to this, shout out.
So how was the bachelorette
Hannah.
party?
Well,
Behaviors? Or did we behave ourselves? I'm putting her on the spot.
I behaved myself. I didn't respond to the Google form about what I wanted my ratchet hat to say. And so I got stuck with recovering slut.
Oh, nice.
Which is just like so far from the like I'm over here like getting a bunch of ass. Like no, red heart.
I wish.
Right. I had like one frozen marg and I was like, this is expensive.
Good thing you didn't run into Shawn and his party animal friends.
It was
recovering.
It was
slut.
crazy.
That's great.
Well, what's funny, I felt so old is when you said I didn't fill out the Google form. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. Bachelorette parties have like structure. Oh
okay,
my God.
well, I felt the same way. I felt the same way. I was like, I already paid for the Airbnb. What the fuck else do you want from me?
Fill out a Google form.
But
no offense, Hannah.
No, Cam and I met at the lake, like I shared before. Do you want me to tell that part again?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you guys were at what's it?
Shady Gators.
That's where I went.
Okay,
the
great.
the swim up bar.
Yes, exactly.
We did get in trouble for climbing on the statue.
A lot of urine.
Yeah,
in that swim up bar.
It's always a murky pool, unless you're the first.
You don't
one
want to
there.
think about it.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't stop. But
Yeah.
So you guys met in the piss pool.
So we met at the piss pool. But the way we met is they used to throw these parties called Rehydrate. It was like a themed party. And our friend threw those parties. And we would usually go with a group of people. And it was a blast, right? It was fun. And you'd have to reserve a little table, right? And there was one weekend, it was supposed to be a big sellout or whatever. And he said, hey, you haven't reserved your table yet. Are you coming? And I'm like, nah, we're not going to go. So then, of course, our drunk friends are like, the next day, let's go. I'm like, well, we can try, but I think they're sold out. So we go up there and he goes, you know what? Do you know Cam Jansen? I go, no, I wasn't a big hockey fan. I go, I've heard of him. And he goes, he's he's got a table reserved, but he never comes, man. He always reserves and he never shows up. He's like, just go sit at his table. Cool.
Period. Yeah.
So we're up there. Our friends are shit faced. I mean, it's a shit show. They're falling all over. The girl I was dating at the time might have punched someone in the face that time or the time before. I can't remember, but it was a shit show.
Bikini brawls with titties popping out.
Yeah, it was.
That's all I can think of.
And
female rage.
so anyways, we all sit there, and then out of nowhere, this guy comes up. He's like, "Hey, this is my table. It's fucking Cam." I go, "Oh shit, you must be that Cam guy." And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'll get everybody." And there, I mean, there's people like sleeping, sprawled out. It looks like
At the
a train
little
wreck.
cabanas.
Yes,
Yeah.
it looks like we've been there for 3 days. It's a shit show,
man. I love it.
And he's like, "No, that's cool. Just everybody hang out together. Don't worry about it." And I'm embarrassed. I'm like, "No, I think you're like somebody, like you're a pro athlete or something. Let me get this
that
mess
shame
out of here."
complex, like your little inner child, like I don't belong
Holier
here.
than thou, though, too, right? Judgy McJudgerson.
yeah.
I'm fucked up too, and I'm like, they're all fucked up. Let me get them out of here.
Not you.
Not me. And so again,
Damn.
You're staying upright because you're doing blow.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
Drunk asses can't hold their liquor.
Yeah, freaking losers. And so I end up, it takes a while, but we get everybody, and I'm like, just get out of here. We get out, and we just disappear, and I pay the tab, because Cam had ordered drinks and stuff when they got there, and I just paid it all. Again, at the time, I was making good money, and so I did that, and we left, and then that was it. And then the next day, later that day or next day, I don't know, he called me, got my number from someone, and he's like, "Hey man, you paid our tab. I owe you." I'm like, "No, please, sir."
All good.
Yeah. And he's like, "Sir."
Sir, yeah. Your Highness.
And he was insistent. He's like, "No, man, nobody pays my tab like that." No, like him, it was like almost disrespect,
Yeah,
like
the
Italian,
pride
you know? And I'm like,
Settle
no,
down,
no.
Kim.
Yeah. And he's like, "All right, well, what are you guys doing tomorrow?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So we ended up hanging out, and dude, we just hit it off. We both found out that we were crazy and liked to have a good time.
That's all it takes.
And it clicked, and we bonded, man. And I think he liked that I didn't know hockey.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah,
I got another friend who's a pro athlete, plays football. I didn't watch football before him. I had no idea. I said, "What do you play, basketball or something?"
Just respectful.
And he's laughing. He's like, "Dude, I'm a defensive lineman. I do not play basketball."
You're just,
Now I know.
because you're like, you're just like him because he's a cool guy, not because he's a fucking fighter in the National Hockey League.
Yeah. So anyways, but we've stayed close and always check on each other.
Sure.
And I called him on the way over here, and he's like, "You hopping on Christy's podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I was calling you." So he knew. Yeah.
God, if I had half a brain, I would have fucking had him come out and do this with us.
That's what he said. He said, "We all need to be on there." I'm like, "Well, I'll come out. We'll do another one."
Yeah, he wants, like I was telling you, he'll come out. He does a lot of good work out here, man. He'll come out, visit with clients, and it makes a real big impact. I also think it's good for him. He's battled, man. He's been on here, kind of shared his story about. I mean, these guys, like, not to get too much into it, but they fight in the National Hockey League, and you can't take a night off. If you take a night off, they send you to the minors. You're done. You have to answer the bell the next night. So, you just fucking cleaned somebody's clock, got smacked around a little bit yourself, seeing stars, cut up, stitched up. Yep. Well, how do you answer the bell 2 nights from then? You got to take something. So
that's right.
Yeah, man, he's been through it, and he really can sit down. And at first, like when clients are like, "Oh, you're Cam, played for the Blues," but when they start talking some pill stories, is when they don't give a fuck. You play, you're all one. And I'd say, you've heard me, and I'll say it here. This fucking disease is radically inclusive, man. It doesn't care your tax bracket, who you vote for, who you fuck. It comes for you all. And guys, let me tell you about my good friends at Light Source. Light Source Psychotherapy in Belleville, Illinois is a small group practice committed to providing individual, group, and family therapy, as well as clinical and reflective supervision to those in the helping field. Check them out at findyourlightsource.com. They're the best in the business, my friends. I know them personally and well enough to tell you and put my name and word on it. If you're struggling with mental health, family issues, addiction, grief, you name it, us all. And when I get to do church out here on Saturday nights or Wednesday nights at Underground, which is always a big member of and and
I order the pizzas and Raz the delivery driver.
Can't do it without the pizza though.
It's true.
But Zoe, she does more than that. She's a big member of the community, and you see a room that is very diverse of all shapes and sizes of people that have had their lives fucking wrecked by this, whether it's us or our loved ones, and find a place of community. I mean, on Wednesday night, we had a mom come for the first time that's son died of addiction and suicide at 10 weeks ago. And like she's able to getting out of bed every day is a monumental fucking victory. Yeah. I can't imagine that. Especially, I'll never know what it feels like to be a mom, but losing a child is just not, it's hard to even take your mind there for a second. So that's a reality.
Do you guys ever talk about, cause I think this sometimes, but I never talk about it, is like survivor's guilt.
Like, probably not talk about it enough. I know
because I don't
it is.
want to be disrespectful to like the military who come back with that.
It's real, man.
But dude, here I am glorifying the good times and you're getting the highlight reels. I haven't told you about the most depressing times other than, suicidal thoughts, how I looked and felt, what it took to get out of bed.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, I'll talk about anything.
Hell yeah, let's drop
But, at the end, when it got so bad, that was the other thing. I knew I was a cokehead, but I was like, alcohol's not really a problem. At the end, the last year, probably 8 months to a year, alcohol kicked my ass. And that really scared me because cocaine was part of my life for 20 years. It was like norm. That scary part was norm.
Were you doing coke sober from alcohol? Were you just were you waking up?
I didn't drink for 6 years one time, just straight coke.
That's what I see. That's where when
people don't understand that.
I can't fucking fathom that. Yeah, I can't. Like I could not. Like the thought of doing a line without I had to be a certain level buzzed,
right, to
get me back. The thought of doing it makes me gag and have diarrhea.
Yeah, it was terrible. So
it's
all
cut,
that, yeah.
Zoe, it's cut with baby laxatives. So it's a thing.
It's true. It's cut with all
people
kinds of shit.
People have poo-poo potties when they do. That's what, you didn't know that?
No.
It's like you with cheese.
I learned so much here.
Yeah.
I have no idea about this world.
It's like you with cheese. Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, I was cocaine intolerant.
I like to say lactose is intolerant of me. But,
got it. Fair.
But cocaine intolerant is funny.
Yeah. But sometimes
that is wild. 6 years of just doing coke.
Yeah. Well, dude, I would go to like parties and they're like, Shawn, don't start until like 11 p.m.
Were you fucking jabberjawing all the whole time, or was it just?
I would be paranoid in an hour and want to go home immediately.
And then I just sit there at home and do coke by yourself
for 2 days straight.
Whoa.
Pacing the house, calling people.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Everything. Yeah.
I got to that point where we were wanting to just play cards in the basement with a couple guys, not out at the bars anymore.
Yeah. Let's do this smart.
Yeah. Everybody would call, like, we were known, I guess, as the Cokey Joe. And the girls would call, like, they stopped hanging out with us because it wasn't just doing a key at the bar and closing the bar down. It was fuck the bar. We're just going to sit. I mean, and bro it up. I would get weirdly vulnerable and like talk about hard shit with each other, coked up. Yeah. In fact, I'm not gonna. It's a reality. I bonded guys I love to this day like fucking brothers over coke conversations that we would have never fucking talked about. Right. Which, here's the lesson: it's fucking very important. You can do it the hard way, which is sober, and be vulnerable and bond with your boys. We were too big of pussies to get vulnerable to each other. We had to just do coke, and that would help us.
Yeah,
that's the lesson for the fucking bros out there that are listening.
Yeah.
Because I'm pacing around that house with you. I know that feeling of just being, and I'm always looking as my mom because my worst fear was
mine was my dad. My dad's coming.
See, I was
he could have been in friggin' Africa, and I'd be like, he's about to come through that fucking door right now.
Yes, looking out the window.
Yeah, like schizophrenia.
Fucking.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, that sounds like you're like snorting a mental illness, like.
Interesting. I mean, I would get
or I guess another soft tissue diffusion method.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
like gums or like an asshole.
Boofing.
Oh. Yeah, no, I would get
The softest tissue.
got it. Okay, neither. I would get. I mean, I was fucking hyper sexualized. I don't know if I was a sex addict.
Okay, I was trying not to say that. Yeah, pornography.
You don't
I
have to
would
try
watch
to not
hours
say
of porn.
anything. You can
Yeah.
say.
It tricked my mind. It instantly would be sexual thoughts, no matter where I was. Like if I was at a bar, it's like, okay. If I was single, it's like, okay, we got to figure out tonight and find someone and go home. That was the mission. And everybody like, hey, how are you? I'm like, looking, I'm good, man. Like it was. Like,
yeah, man.
That was the
wasn't
hunt.
even about this. Like,
no.
sex because it barely.
No, it was.
work.
That's right.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the sex, but the drug that I was addicted to made me go to sex.
Bingo.
And try to make fantasies come true, and never
like
quite
feeling
worked
wanted,
out.
Like
again, you're right.
desired,
That insecure boy.
Yeah. But it's like, it sounds like Coke is like hyping up the men. I don't know. We haven't had a lady Coke.
We will. I mean, I was engaged to one and was a sex worker. So,
well, yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah,
before
but it's wild. And so that's when I went from being this outgoing party guy to start coming into locking myself in the closet. You know,
and this is before you've met Nina, or
yeah. So Nina, remember, she had a full-time job, worked full-time, took her
taking care of her grandparents. Fuck yeah.
You know, so she was busy. So when we first started dating and she had just graduated high school, Ballpark Village just opened up.
Okay.
And so it was like the spot.
Did you ever go to J Bucks?
Oh yeah.
So my cousin ran J Bucks, and me and my old man, so we had our parking spot. We would have tickets at Bush, but just hang out at J Bucks, go upstairs, party.
Yeah.
I remember telling Chris Chelios fucking one night, who's a Hall of Fame defenseman in the National Hockey League, because they would hang out there and walk to the rink. The Bluesy game had started, and Chelios was there with he was playing for the Red Wings at the time in a suit. He wasn't playing that night and had a couple other guys that were scratched. And I walked up to Chelios. I go, healthy scratch tonight, Chris? And he was fucking nice kid. Fucking nice. He was hurt.
Yeah.
He wasn't healthy scratch. That's like a big diss. He's a Hall of Fame defenseman. You're lost. It's okay. But there's no way we didn't party together. This is not possible.
We probably did, for sure.
Westport in 2006 was that whole season was my cousin lived in a loft in Wash Ave.
Oh, dude, that was the spot.
Right. Sidebar, hair of the dog, Lucas.
All that deal.
Yeah.
Yep. So my wife, I first met her. We were dating, and she was busy. And so I could go out on a date, have a good time. She wants to go home at midnight. I'm like, cool. And then I'm out.
Is it okay to ask where she worked?
She worked at the Elephant Bar, which was a restaurant at West County Mall.
All right. Yeah.
You remember that? Oh, I loved it. It was great food. But Italian background, family restaurant biz. So she's always been around waiting tables, and she was great at it. But anyways, so my point is I could go on a date with her, drop her off at midnight, 1 a.m., and then my other friends, then I'd go east.
Yes.
Go to the east side, right? 6 a.m., and then shut that down, and then try to carry a party from the east side all the way back to St. Charles to my house. Oh, yeah, they close at 6. So, yeah, I would go.
Sun's out when you walk out. That's the worst. But then, we'd do the same thing, but we 15 minutes away in Belleville.
Yeah, the St. Charles bars were, 1:30, Clayton, 3 o'clock, and then you got to go east. Most people don't go to Clayton till 3. But those people at 3, most of them were like, I think that's the warning sign. It's time to go. No, we're going, dude.
You'd hit rush hour traffic in the morning going home from the titty bars.
I can feel that. There's many times, and I'm looking at people like
they're going to work. And
I'm like
paranoid as fuck, higher than a kite. Yeah.
I've literally shut down the strip club where the security guy's like, buddy, come on. I know I'm like, you got to get out of here.
What clubs did you hang on at?
Penthouse. Always
Sojay,
always Sojay, and I liked it there because
classy.
Again,
it really
Judgy
is.
McJudgerson, but I
was
could
at fucking Roxy's.
I could go there and get away
shower dances
with murder again. You know? Like I could. They knew what I was doing there.
Do you know Scotty the bartender at Penthouse? Is my buddy.
The bald guy.
No, he had hair. He would grow. I graduated high school.
No, but I always went.
Tux. I had to wear tuxes behind the bar.
Oh yeah.
Girls would sit next to you completely butt ass naked, and there's bartenders in a tuxedo.
Yeah. It's
How I like the taverns.
Yeah. But
Fully dressed men, completely naked women. Sorry.
And I would try to tell my wife, I'm like, it's not about the strippers. I swear.
Wait, so you're married at this point?
Oh, yeah.
It really, no, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I tried to explain this to Ashley.
Where can I go? I can be comfortable with my paranoia and do drugs, and they know I'm doing drugs and they don't care.
I sat at the bar. I never sat at the stage and fucking stuffed dollars.
No, I was
in
always in that
girls.
VIP area
Yeah.
because they could go back there and there was usually people we knew. It was like a hangout. It was weird.
I did one time when I just started dating a stripper. We went to, me and my buddy went to Larry Flint's where she was dancing, and I guess I won't.
You're trying so hard not to say
told
something.
his name is
I like it.
it's Screech, and so we went to the bar.
No.
and we walk in, and they're independent contractors. They had opened a new stage up, like at the time we got there, and she jumped on it. Nobody had been sitting around it yet. So I'm like, oh, I feel bad. She's up there with nobody.
Poor girl.
I go, I got to play it cool.
Nice guy.
I got to play it cool. I screech, here's a hundo.
Gentleman's club.
I go, here's a hundo. Go over, go sit with her.
Oh, to Screech?
And I'm like, so he's like, fine. He goes over there, and I'm kind of looking left, trying to play it cool. Yeah. I look right, and he's motorboating her ass cheeks. I said, motherfucker, I told you to sit at her stage. I'd eat her. The fuck? What are friends for?
That's hilarious.
What is Screech for?
It's always had a soft spot for. She loves Screech.
Oh, sweet man.
Where was I going with this about my wife?
So you were telling her though, like it wasn't about going there.
Yeah.
And
and we were
naked girl
dating
before.
we're
mature.
I don't know if I was married yet or not, but
Okay.
so we first started dating. Here's the timeline. We first started dating. She was super busy. This is my ADD. I keep trying to get this storyline out, and I can't. We're just dating. She was busy. I would drop her off. I would continue to go out partying. And she was so busy, I didn't have to call her the next day. I didn't look clingy to her. It worked out great.
Sure.
And then we would do this for a while. Well, we were only dating for about 5 months. She had just caught wind of the drugs and was like, I'm not down with that. Well, we were doing it in front of her. And she's like, I'm like, no, I'm telling my friends.
Level up the relationship,
yeah.
Zoe.
I'm like, no, guys, she's cool. She don't care.
She's cool.
She just didn't know. And then it was so out in front. She's like, oh, I didn't know you guys do that stuff. She's like, yeah, definitely not interested in that. And then shortly after, she finds out she's pregnant. So now, and I'm 15 years older than my wife. She just graduates college, and she's knocked up by a dude who's 15 years older, and he's a cokehead. She finds all this out rapidly.
I'm surprised that that you didn't end up in a hole with the Italian family. They're good. They're good. I'm just starting to connect the dots here. Yeah.
Yeah. I was worried
you get her
about
pregnant,
the Italian family.
I would be too, my friend.
I was very worried about the Italian family.
And he showed you run into Uncle Tony, who's got a fucking
she
gun.
Does have an Uncle Tony.
She does. Of course she does.
Of course she does.
Anne Marie. Yeah.
Shout out Uncle Tone. Big Tone.
Couple Maries. Yeah.
Marie. There was Grandma Marie and her cousin Maria. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Grandma Marie.
Okay, so speaking of how Italians operate on this, I know only one time that has happened, and immediately the guy was like, well, we have to get married right now because so how did
so her dad came to me. Well, we and kind of
with a gun
was like, no,
and a ring. He's got a gun and a ring in one hand.
No, he's the one that's like loud and crazy and kind of funny and boisterous, but he's trying to talk to me, and I'm confused, and finally I'm like, wait a second, are you trying to ask me, am I going to marry your daughter? Because it was so convoluted what he was trying to say.
Say it, man.
Yeah, and he goes, yes, that's what I'm trying to say. What is your plan?
I fucking stump? Am I stuttering over here?
Yeah. And I go, well, with all due respect, I said, your wife is your daughter is marriage material. I'm not husband material at the time. And I want to work on myself to make me husband material. And there's some things I need to work on myself.
I want to swallow my Adam's apple.
And he's like, fuck. He's like, damn, that's a really good answer.
You got 9 months.
Yeah.
to figure it out.
Figure the fuck out. But it didn't happen. We had the baby. We were still not married. We ended up getting married 2 years later. She was our flower girl.
Okay.
And we had a beautiful wedding in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
Very nice.
Let's do a destination wedding. We got too many friends here. It's going to be a fortune if we have it here.
So not sober yet, though.
No.
Yeah.
Not sober yet.
All inclusive in Cabo.
Good call. Exactly. So check this out. This is funny. I'm like, we'll just invite a bunch of people. They're not all going to come. 82 people came.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus.
You're paying for this?
No, they paid their way. We just had to pay per plate though. So all that stuff added up because we did our.
They love you and they know Sean's gonna have a good time. That's
off-site.
like I could just picture getting that invite. I'm going to that wedding.
Yeah,
This motherfucker
yeah.
can party. That's
Dude,
what I would say.
You ask any of our friends that were there, it was crazy. I mean,
I believe
we
it.
had our
Did
families.
you all make it home from this?
Yeah.
All 82. All right. That's
Well, we had
that's
our
a victory.
families there, which was like 15, and the rest was just party people, dude. It was crazy.
Wow.
And we took over this whole resort. It was wild. It was crazy.
I can only imagine.
It was fun
man.
for everyone except
And
for
you're
my
like
wife.
almost
Yeah.
right. Poor Nina. You're
Poor
almost
Nina,
at,
exactly.
at the end. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's immediately what I
Yeah.
was going to ask. Like, when you're off, like, dicking around like this, like, what is she doing? Like, taking care of your kid?
Yeah.
Leave it to Zoe to
Well-
think of the
Yeah.
woman. Me and you are
No.
like, what a fucking party.
Sorry. Time.
God bless you.
No, but you're right. 100% right. And this is why she's like new mom,
Yeah.
like trying to figure it out. And she's like
2-year-old's a
again,
lot of work.
trying to figure life out. Now in that gap, I did do a inpatient treatment center. You want some good material? I had a drug
Always.
dealer a member of the Mexican mafia paid for my treatment at an inpatient treatment. He owned a treatment center, a guy I knew.
The one in Cali?
Screaming.
The Passages?
No, and it was in Creve Coeur.
Ah.
Wow.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
he's dead now. But
What was the name of the treatment center?
Midwest Institute of Addiction, MIA,
Okay.
which I think they got bought out at least once or
Sure.
twice. But it was a friend of mine. I became friends with this guy through a girl who I knew. She's like, "Hey, do you care if I invite my new boyfriend to the lake?" I'm like, "Yeah." Me and this dude hit it off.
I bet you
we're
did.
partying, and I'm like, "This dude's a
He had
riot."
that clean cut fucking blow.
Dude, and then the next day he takes his shirt off to go to the pool, and I'm like, "Whoa, I know all those tattoos, bro. That's MM, that's 13."
Mm.
What?
Who's this girl?
Mexican mafia.
I thought it was
those are-
the cartel. Do
Well-
they also have a mafia?
They're different.
There's all kinds of shit, but and I don't know enough to talk about
Okay.
it. But anyway, so I end
So
up
13.
me and this
all
guy
these
became
tattoos.
friends, and then he went back to prison, and then he
Oh.
gets out.
MS-13 is a Mexican prison gang.
Heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
That really like flourishes in the prison
Yeah,
system.
that's what he was in. So because
Wow.
he was in and out of prison multiple times. So he when he got out, he got clean and sober, started treatment center, and we were friends. You know, I was talking to him.
And he
while I was
died.
in
He's
prison.
no longer here, huh?
He relapsed, bro.
And died from it? The
Yep.
disease. No shit.
Well, yeah. So, anyways, he gets out, starts doing well, starts making money again. Guess what? He's not doing
Mm.
treatment. He's not
Drug-
doing. He's not doing
dry
12-step. He's not working a program. He's
Dry drunk shit. Yeah, man.
And now he's making money. Right? Bad combination.
Fucking curse.
So he starts dabbling in meth, and meth,
Dabbling?
doing a lot of meth.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
he called me. He was back living in another state, and he called me the night that he died. He said he FaceTimed me, and he goes, and when he was high on meth, he sounded normal. The stories were crazy, but his voice was normal. And he did have crazy things happen. He did have the feds kick in his door before, and he's like, "Hey man, the feds are here. They're getting a kick in my door." And I'm like, so I immediately believe him, and I'm like, okay,
It's like meth paranoia.
yeah, meth
No
paranoia.
shit.
And then he FaceTimes me, and he opens the curtain. Well, when it's FaceTimed, I see it's a shitty motel room he's in. I'm like, oh fuck. And he opens the curtain and he goes, look outside. And I see an empty parking lot. He's like, you see them all? And I was like,
Whoa.
and that's when I knew. I go,
Like,
buddy,
psychosis.
you got to
stuff.
flush it. Whatever you got left, flush it.
Mhm.
Call it a day, call it a night. You're done. And he's like, dude, no. He's like, I gotta go. And he hangs up. And then a few hours later, he got shot and killed. So I don't know if it was the paranoia or if people were really chasing him, but he was trying to beat on someone's door to come inside, and they just shot through the door and killed him.
Wow.
How
Yeah.
old was he?
40.
That's fucking traumatic, Sean.
Yeah. That just happened about 4 or 5 years ago.
Man, you're kind of like a surrogate type sponsor. Reach out.
We were
Sorry,
homies.
man.
We were good friends,
Yeah.
man. You know, I look, because again, I don't judge people. I didn't
Mhm.
judge him for his past. And I said, I don't ever want to know anything that you did. And he's like, good, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, cool, let's just be friends.
Bless and amen.
And
so when you made it stick, when you finally got clean and sober, your 2-year-old daughter said your eyes are red, and that hit you. Yeah. Then from there you went to a third. Is it now a treatment center?
Well, what I did is the delay of going. Me and my wife are arguing about this on a regular basis, daily, and she's like, I'm done. And I'm like, here's the truth. And I didn't know it until this moment. Here's the truth. I am afraid to tell you I'll go get treatment again because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go away for 30 days. I'm going to come back, and guess what? I'm going to relapse, and you're going to leave.
Seen the movie. Yeah.
I've done this. I know what happens. It does not work for people like me. And she's like, you got to do something. And so I'm like, fuck, I guess I got to do a 30-day treatment. And I start scrolling, and I see this 4-day boot camp for alpha male boot camp where they beat the shit out of you like military for 4 days. And I'm like, 4 days is less than 30.
Oh, for the purpose of sobriety?
Yeah, but that's not what this is for. This is what I'm going for. It's for business owners who want to like learn how to build themselves up and to be alpha men, and it's total douchebaggy kind of coaching.
Sounds okay.
And I'm like, I'll do that. That's for 4 days. What's 4 days?
Alpha males never have drug problems.
So I go on a bend.
You hate alpha males.
So I tell my wife, and she's like, okay,
White
great.
alpha males.
So my wife's happy because I commit to this thing. So I go on a 3-day bender and then go to this 20-hour-a-day physical boot camp and detox through it. Almost die.
Not safe. Yeah.
Not safe at all. Looking back, I just was uneducated. And so there was a few times I collapsed. My eyes were awake. They're like, are you dead? I'm like, no, but there was nothing.
I wish.
I'm surprised. That's wild that they don't take some kind of fucking biometrics in the liability. I guess you're signing it away.
Yeah, I signed a waiver, and their average client is not a drug addict.
Sure, that's what I mean. Like, but
they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so I opened up during this event. And what's cool is it wasn't all for nothing, because what got uncovered by going, the purpose of them, like the military, they beat you down, get rid of all your bad stories and thoughts and fears, and build you back up to be this powerful machine and be a Marine, right? Well, in 4 days, what they did for us was they beat us down and had us talking through things, and guys started opening up, and I started hyperventilating on day 3. Wow. And I started having flashbacks of being molested as a kid.
Holy shit.
And I'm like,
there it is.
That's it. I never knew.
Wow.
I forgot about it.
Your body knew.
And I started hyperventilating, and I go out of the room, and they're like, are you okay? I'm like, could not catch my breath. And it was like, everything was happening like
an anxiety attack,
1,000,000 miles per hour. Like, this is why you've been doing it.
Self-medicated.
Yes. Yeah. This is what you've been hiding from. This is why you're insecure. This is why you've been the little boy. This is why you've been chasing sex. This is why it was like all in like probably 30 seconds. It was so much information that was coming forward so fast. It made me hyperventilate. And so I came back in the room, and the guys were like, are you okay? And I just blurted out, I was molested as a kid. And I just told the whole fucking story, and everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I felt, and all of a sudden, as their mouths were dropping, I felt 10 feet tall for the first fucking time in my life, man.
Oh my gosh.
Sober too.
Well, 3 days.
For coke, that if you go on that, yeah.
But it was like, I can beat this thing. That's what the thing was. I never opened up in treatment. Remember I said they didn't work? I didn't fucking work it, bro. I wasn't honest. I didn't want to be honest. I didn't want to be clean and sober.
Yeah.
I didn't want to face anything. And dude, I came there.
You don't want to look inside this shit, which is so hard, but so fucking worth it, man.
But I didn't know.
No.
And as men, we're just trained, you just don't talk about shit, right? So,
right. You just get
I still get a relief talking about it again, man.
That's kind of, so what do you think it was about just like getting beat up for 4 days?
You're vulnerable, you're weak, you're exhausted, and there's no place to go. That's the thing. They take your phones, and you're just left. I don't have a car. Yeah. I got nothing, man. And I'm in their van. They're taking us everywhere.
How many guys?
There was 8 other men in the class with me and like 3 coaches.
Do you remember feeling like trapped, perhaps? Or
At the event?
yeah.
No, because everything was my wife and daughter. I can't leave my wife and daughter. Like, this is it. This is my last hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if I can't do it, it's just 4 days. It's just 4 days. But that first day was 20 hours, dude. It felt like a week.
I bet.
Felt like a week.
Yeah.
Of intense fucking just.
No alcohol. No, I couldn't take a shot to calm down. No meds. No. I just went.
So you get out of this
Yeah.
program, and what'd you do after that?
So I go home, and dude, I feel like a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife's like, I'm a new man. I'm a great person.
Honeymoon shit, yeah.
And she's like, okay, bud, we'll see.
Right.
It's been a day. You've been home a day.
Right.
You know, I'm still hurt.
I know that feeling, and I
Yeah.
hear it a lot in here at IRC as people are getting out. I mean, you do feel like, I mean, you do, but you're not cured. It's not you still take your fucking medicine.
Yep. Correct.
Which to me is community and it's groups and it's, or then there is some medicine that helps the cravings. But to your point, yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
And you want to tell the world,
Yeah.
but the world says, I've heard this shit before.
Yeah.
Let's see some action
Results.
at some time.
That's right. And so I was like, I just lost my train of thought, but it was,
So you told your wife, you got home and you're like, fucking, I'm great.
yeah. And that, we call it 5-hour energy. It wore off.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was no AA, there was no 12-step, there was no prayer. There was there was just, I stopped, white knuckled it, and I made it through the rough part, right? The detox. And then life started happening. And I started telling my wife, I think I could probably just have a drink after a couple months, and she just, her body just goes like, fuck, here we go. And so, but I was convinced. I'm like, no, it's good. It's good. And I relapsed. And so I relapsed with alcohol, relapsed with cocaine, and it went further and worse, for about 6 months to a year. And, that was the final run. But during that time is when, the company was going bankrupt.
Damn.
The cars were getting repossessed and towed from the house. I called the bank. I'm like, hey, we're coming up on some problems. And they're like, get out. I was like, oh, I thought I was being kind and telling you a warning. And they had my house sold to somebody they knew like that. I was like, fuck, dude. So my friend list was very small. We had to move everything out ourselves. I shouldn't say we had a lot of people that helped, but it was like certain people I thought would help were like, I'm not helping. The money train's gone. Party Sean's gone.
Right.
I'm not being around that. And there were some people saying I'm not being around Shawn because the partying was so bad. I had drug dealers cut me off saying, you're not dying on my drugs. That's how bad it got. Because I'd show up to them and they're like, dude, get out of here.
That's how this is how the stories end.
Yeah. And it went boom, rapid. And it reached that point where I said, okay, I guess, I know what worked for my mom. My mom met my stepdad in AA like 35 years ago. Everybody I know that's done AA or NA or something and stuck with it, they're still clean and sober. I've always said that doesn't work, but I never fully tried it. But there's a lot of people when I would go to those meetings that had 30 years sobriety. That's it. I'm going to do it. And so I went and it was terrible, and I went to some meetings in St. Charles that I just didn't like. And I stayed in the back of the room. I didn't get any phone numbers. I didn't want to help anyone else. I just wanted to go.
I was pissed off. Yeah.
I was pissed off. Didn't want to be there. So I really wasn't taking much in, but I was going. And then, I reached out to a guy and said, hey man, I don't know if you remember, we met a while ago and I need a sponsor. He's like, okay, cool, man. It's real easy. And I'm like, okay, I got a pen and paper. I'm like, go ahead. What do I got to do? He's like, call me tonight before you go to bed. Call me in the morning. Well, first thing, wake up in the morning, roll out onto bed, straight on your knees and pray. And then call me right after. I'm like, all right, what else? He's like, that's it. I'm like, all right. Cool. I'm like, I got a sponsor. Tell my wife I got a sponsor. This is easy. I just got to call him in the morning. So I call him in the morning. I'm like, hey, good morning, Jeff. How you doing? He's like, hey, did you pray? I was like, oh, I forgot. He goes, click.
Accountability.
I'm like, fuck. All right, let me try this pray thing. So I call him back. I'm like, he just picks up. He said, "Did you pray?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Good." He said, "What'd you pray for?" I was like, "I just said, hey, God, let's have a good day." And he's like, "Do you know how to pray?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Were you not brought up around?" I said, "No, I really don't know anything."
What do you mean how to pray?
Yeah. He's like, "Well, here's what I want you to do." So he told me what to start saying. Eased me into it.
Mhm.
"Can you do that?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Great. Call me tonight before you go to bed." Okay. That's all I was doing was calling him for like first week.
Mhm.
Because he knew if he gave me any more than that, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't comprehend opening a book. Are you fucking kidding me? No way. And so I started showing up to his house.
This is important. We go from, sorry to cut you off,
No,
but this
please.
is such a, because we fucking know it all. We think we know it all.
Yeah.
The sponsor has to break it down to, I said one thing to do.
One phone call, bro.
And you didn't do it, click. Now you did it.
But I needed that punch.
well, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
to respect him.
sure.
Like, oh, fuck. Okay. This
Right,
guy's-
100%. You know it all. You can't do one little. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a
yeah.
fucking humbling experience. You don't know shit about fuck, to quote
Yeah.
Ruth Langmore.
And he was really good at humbling me. Because again, I came from, our family didn't have money in the beginning, and then we had a lot of money, and then no money. And so he would remind me, you're not Mr. Shawn Vinson anymore. Dude, you're a fucking drug addict, and you're an alcoholic.
Dang.
That guy ain't there anymore. Those friends, the fans, the party scene,
Yeah, like calling
it's
you
gone.
out.
Yeah, dude. And then I'd say, I'd start getting on my high horse, every few months, and he'd be like, he'd punch me down, man. And it was with love, and I knew it, but I was like,
It's a
fuck.
good sponsor.
I was
man.
like, dude, nobody talks to me that way, but I'll let it slide because
Right,
it's him. Because I respected him. And I didn't respect anybody before, including myself.
Bingo.
That's what I'm like hearing is from both of you is like there was a lot of things in your childhood that you had to just do alone. And like you had to just white knuckle through it. And so
Mhm.
like thinking that that's how you solve a drug problem or an alcohol problem, like,
Yeah.
of course. And so having someone hold you accountable, but for the fact of like they want you to be better rather than they want you to like hide the lie or like hide your feelings or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good. I'm still friends with him today. He's not my sponsor now. I moved to Destin. And again, I wasn't great as a sponsee with him. I was a 5 out of 10 at best. And I would do half the stuff he told me, and we laugh about it now, but he didn't think I was going to make it. That's how bad of a sponsee I was. And then I moved to Destin, Florida, and I told my wife, I'm like, when we move here, now I'm about 2 years sober,
Okay.
and I've been half-assing this sobriety thing, white knuckling it, and working twice as many hours a day, thinking that'll fix everything, to try and rebuild our life and all this stuff, and just, anyways. So I go there, and I go to this meeting, and there's like 35 people there. It's a big meeting. And I just sat in the back like I always did in St. Charles. And then at the end, this guy's like, "Hey, are you new here? Or are you visiting on vacation?" I said, "No, I just moved here." And he's like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "See you tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh, where's the meeting tomorrow?" He's like, "Right here, 8 a.m. every day, right here." I was like, "Oh, I don't know about that." I'm thinking, I'm not going to multiple days in a row meetings. That's
8
crazy.
a.m..
I went to like once a week back home, man.
Ooh.
And I go, "Every day?" He goes, "Yeah, I come almost every day." I go, I'm thinking, I left. I go, "That guy's fucked up. He needs to go every day,
Right.
And that's where my head
Whatever
was.
it takes, baby.
And so now, guess what? I go almost every day to that same meeting. And some of my best friends are in Destin, Florida. There's 4 guys,
Community, bro.
Matt, Mark, and Dan. We all
Matt,
came
Mark, and
around the same time. Our sobriety links are different, but we all came into that, into recovery at the same time. So we don't care about the years. We're like, dude, we're the same. Because even though I had 2 years, I didn't have 2 years of
Working a program.
working
yeah.
a program.
Man,
And dude, I got some homies now, dude. These
If I
guys are
didn't-
lifelines.
I'm
I love
so
that.
grateful that you were able to, because you weren't going to last. That
It-
2 years
you know.
could have, I don't care if it's 2, 10, it's not, you're not living an honest, joyful life in recovery if you're not working some form of a program, whether it's whether it's your own put piece together with that involves no people,
Yeah.
sponsors, aka no people, and involves community.
Yeah.
and it involves some fucking spirituality, man. Jesus is my guy, but you know, for some people it's fucking Buddha or just higher power and something bigger than yourself. I mean, whatever it takes.
One thing on that, this is really cool. So I had a hard time believing in a God, or he's like, do you believe in God? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, sure is not the right answer. What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I believe there's something up there. You know?
Right. Makes sense, I guess.
I was like, I never really thought about it more than that. He's like, okay. And he's like, well, here's what I want you to do. So you've got some problems going on in your life, right? I had lawsuits. I had bankruptcy. I had my marriage. Even though she was still there, it was rebuilding. I had a lot of stuff going on. And he's like, I want you to be specific in a prayer for something that's going on that you really need help with, like, and hone in on it, being very intentional on that item. I'm like, okay. And so the next day he called and he's like, tell me what you said. And I told him, got real descriptive about one of these lawsuits going on. And, okay, add the other one. What's the other one? You got the other, start adding that lawsuit. And so next thing you know, I have like these 5 things that are very problematic in my life, intentionally praying every single morning and every single night. And, so he doesn't bring it up again. He just keeps saying, you doing your prayers? And I'm doing them. I'm like, I am. I'm doing everything you're saying now. And after, I think it was like 60 days. Yeah, I don't think it was 30. It was 60 or 90 days. I can't remember. But so, hey, congrats, man. By the way, I thought he was going to show up to my 90 day with a cake and balloons and stuff. He wasn't even there. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, this is monumental.
Yeah.
And I had to tell him I had 90 days. He's like, oh, that's cool. Great job. He's like, well, let's kind of see where you're at, man. What's going on and everything. He's like, hey, whatever, give me an update. I'm like, dude, you're not going to believe this shit, dude. That one lawsuit dropped. He's like, why? I'm like, I don't know, dude. And everything, all those 5 things, I went through them all. He's like, that's wild, man. That's so great to hear. I'm happy for you. He's like, hey, remember a while back? What were those things I asked you to pray for? And dude, I just paused and it was that frying pan to the face again. I'm like,
man,
dude. He goes, great. So do you think just maybe kind of sort of tiny bit, just a little bit, there might be some coincidence of you praying for specific things to a God above you that might work? I said, dude, yeah. And I believed. First time in my life.
That's wild, Shawn.
It's crazy, huh? So
Yeah.
now I have 0 doubt. I had 0 belief. Now I have 0 doubt. I know. And when my life still gets squirrely, every time I haven't been praying, not intentional, going through the motions, or I'm in my head worried about myself. It's time to start helping other people again. So,
You know what I say about like service work, helping other people? It's why we do this. It's why I'm doing underground, is because I got a lot of fucking hard shit going on business-wise, man. I'm right there with you. And when I'm helping other people, when I'm spending time here at IRC, underground, doing this podcast, I am out, not in here anymore. I'm out there. And because if I'm in here too long, this got me to almost dead. I was suicidal by bottle for 2 years.
For sure.
And I'm here to say the same thing, that when you're not working your program, then you start doing it Shawn's way.
Yeah.
Shawn's way ain't working. Shawn's way is hard, man.
And everything you're going through, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
It's already handled, right? Like it's already done. We're just in it right now. Okay. And we're worried about this shit right now that we have 0 control of. And your future is already, your 30 years from now is already done. It's already written. It's already done. So why worry about today if you don't even have control of it? That's the common sense logic. But sometimes we can't.
No.
Now, I'm going to need you to say that back to me in probably 2 months. Because I'm going to have
We're going to keep doing this for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to call me every morning.
Yeah. Do our group text check-in. Yeah.
I Wednesday night was all about the message that, the larger church that we go to does these sermon series, and it's just started. It's called Shift Happens, like shit happens. So I took a page out of that, which is nice, and then my little condensed version of a message is basically that, the shit happens, and God doesn't plan for the disasters in our lives. That's like a promise to us because it's a broken world. What his plans are for peace within the disaster.
And like redemption afterwards. Like disaster is only disaster until you don't know what happens afterwards. And it might still be disaster, but it's also probably a blessing. Like,
well, yeah. And the peace, like the promise is that and we've heard this before, peace within a storm. It's called the fucking serenity prayer.
Yeah.
That the storms are going to be there. But I think God's plan for us is to have peace during the storms and hope. And I really don't subscribe that God plans for fucking kids to die, for people to go bankrupt, for cancer.
No.
But he's going to walk with you through it and help you find peace through it.
Waiting at the door for you to just open it. Like, like one of the most profound things that changed my perspective on that, because it never felt right when people are like, it's all part of the plan. I'm like, are you sure?
Get the fuck out of here.
Right. But then my mom died and I'm 15 and I'm like, what the fuck kind of plan is this?
Yeah.
And my best friend's mom at the time was like, the universe fucks up. The universe is fucked up.
Yep.
Like, that's not exactly what you just said. Like, God's plan is never for a 15-year-old to lose her mom.
Right.
God's plan is to come in and scoop her up afterward. And I was like,
bingo.
Ginger.
Love you some ginger.
Yeah. I was like, you just blew my fucking mind.
That's awesome.
But it's so true.
People would say to my cousin who lost his 13-month-old baby, oh, God planned for... No, motherfucker.
Yeah.
God didn't plan for Ollie to die from a heart disease.
No.
He didn't. But he's there to help you find peace in the storm.
Yeah.
So when you're saying what you just told me and want me to repeat back to you in 2 weeks is just that.
Yeah.
That pieces to control the things we can, and then the wisdom to know the difference between what we can and cannot control.
And that serenity prayer is what really helped me. So I'm bouncing around with a bunch of ideas now, but that was the one thing that that helped me stay calm.
Yeah.
Because every morning, and so sometimes I have my AA meeting, it's at 8 a.m. Sometimes I go in at 8:02 and I miss the serenity prayer and I get nothing from the meeting. Dude.
It fucks you up. Yeah, I gotta
have that. Doing it with a group of people hits for me. It's wild. But that thing.
What a start to the day.
That's the one thing that when I didn't want to do AA, I didn't want to do a 12-step program. I didn't want to call a guy every day. I didn't want to do anything. But boy, I could read that and just get calm when chaos was going on,
Yeah.
It is such a wise, and it's not just something you read. You say it and you live it and you breathe it, and it's fucking life changing, man.
It is.
What are you doing now?
Well, now, here's what's funny. So that coaching program that beat me down and I detoxed through, they called me 6 months later and said, hey, would you want to come work for us? Because they saw
transformation.
Yeah,
sure.
Maybe not 6 months, maybe a year. Whatever it was is when I actually started getting clean and sober. And on Facebook, they were like, because they were based out of California. And I was like, at this point, I was so desperate, selling CBD oil. I was doing everything, dude.
MLMs, yeah.
I was considering that.
Because you were going through this financial shit show.
And I had no job. And my ego was still so big that I couldn't let people know. So I want to still look like an entrepreneur. That's the truth. And so I was like, yeah, I'm self-employed, making no money. But
I think same.
It was total ego was still there. And so they called and I'm like, yes. Because I'm like, here's a job offer and it's in California. So St. Louis people don't have to know. Right. And I can go do this cool looking thing because I need something. But really, I needed structure.
Yeah.
And so I went to go work with these guys. And mind you, my life's on fire as far as like financially still. But I needed that. And so I started working with these guys and it was good for me at the time. It was really, really good. And one of the owners, his name is Spencer Kimball, he and I hit it off, right? And there was a couple of other owners. But me and Spencer, we would always get in trouble because the other owners would be like, can you guys ever be serious?
Right,
and we were like, no.
No, red heart.
Yeah. And we were just goofballs. And so I ended up leaving. I worked there for about 3 or 4 years. But that's how I got moved to Florida. They were based out of California when COVID happened. You know, California locked down.
Yeah.
Our CEO, who was Spencer Kimball, lived in Destin, Florida.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, it's wide open here.
Florida didn't lock down.
No, that's where we went on our family vacation.
Beautiful. Yeah,
winter
it
of
was
COVID.
crazy. So the
Yeah,
guy from
beautiful.
California goes there, and they were like, we want everyone to move to Destin, Florida. This is our business now.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I'm in. So me and my wife, I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I don't know. I know you're close to your family, but we got this opportunity. She's like, let's go.
Nice.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay. You were my biggest hurdle. So we packed up and went like in 30 days. We were here or in Destin. And anyway, so after a couple years with those guys, it was good. But now I'm building my life back up. My confidence is up. My ego's down. But I'm not enjoying working for these guys anymore.
Okay.
And you know when they say it's like time for you to go?
Yeah.
It was time to go for about a year, and I
Okay.
couldn't see it. But I was afraid. The little boy was like, I'm
Yeah.
afraid to leave my new little family.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do?
Change,
I don't know. Change. And so I started a car rental business with one car, my wife's car. I put it on Turo, and someone rented it right away for her car payment amount for 1 week. We covered her monthly car payment, and my wheels, I'm like, dude, we got a business model here. So what do? I tell my wife, great news. We're going to go buy 100 cars. And she's like, wait,
Oh.
what? No, mind you, we got no money.
Yeah.
Right. She said,
And
how?
we just are getting through the bankruptcy. And she's like,
Right. So credit's an issue, right?
yeah, everything's
You're
an issue.
loaning out
It's
my
just an
car.
idea. And she's like, okay, just start with the one car and then maybe add one more. And so I did. And so I added a second car, and then I found an investor, and we did it. And I got it up to 90 cars. And I had quit the coaching company to do this full time. And but something was missing. One, I've shrunk that down to about 30 cars now, or 25 to 30 cars, because it was too much. It was chaos.
That sounds fucking insane to
It was
manage.
stupid. Think of how much.
And are you competing at this point with like the Enterprise and the Hertz of the world?
A little bit in that area. But I mean, that's 360 tires.
Fuck.
360 brake pads. You know,
A lot of insurance.
90 insurance, 90.
And it's just
freaking-
you and your wife doing this?
Dude, it was terrible. And
Awesome.
we had an employee, but it was too much. So anyways, but then what I really missed was coaching, working with people.
Yeah.
And so I put up on Facebook,
Seeing transformation in human beings.
hey, I'm looking to work with just 3 people. I'm only taking 3 clients on. So I get 3 people right away, and I start coaching them. Spencer Kimball from that company calls me and goes, hey man, how you doing with this coaching thing? And I'm like, did I sign an NDA or something? What are you worried about? And I'm kind of secretive. And he's like, dude, just tell me what you're doing. I said, well, no offense to your company. I'm charging about 1/3 of what you guys charge. I'm more involved in their life. We're having fun. We're laughing. It's not militant. And he's like, oh, I'm so glad to hear that. He goes, I freaking hate it here.
It's the owner of the company?
Owner. He goes, no one knows this, but I'm leaving. Do you want to do something together? I said, yeah.
Yeah, let's giggle.
Let's giggle. Yes.
Red Heart.
Yes.
Red Heart.
Oh my God.
And so we got together and we started a company called Expansion.
Whoa.
And that's our
Oh,
coaching business now.
your
Yeah,
hat.
on my hat. And so what we've done is we wanted to turn the coaching world upside down without making a big splash, but just do it completely different. And like I shared earlier, it's a lot of these companies saying, you pay me $30,000 and I'll show you what to do. And it's like, no, we're going to learn more about you, and we're going to get you happy, healthy, fit. And also we've added this wealth component. We brought on a wealth coach to our team. His name's Jeremy Newsom.
Whoa, yeah.
And he teaches people how to trade stocks safely,
That's
effectively.
huge.
So even if you have a 401k sitting there making 3 to 8%, we're going to show you how to touch your own money and make 20 to 40 or 50% with your money.
Wow.
So it's really cool. It's really cool. Most people are afraid of it, but
Can you
we show you how to.
do you have to be in Destin, or do you take people virtually?
We're doing it just in Destin. So we
Okay.
do a 2-day event in Destin. We got one coming up in March, first week of March. And then, if you like it, then we'll talk further if it's something you want to do year round, but come to the 2-day event, get the most out of it you can.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Got
cool.
it.
It's cool.
That's awesome.
Well, we're gonna. I mean, for people that listen, want to include links and shit like
Oh,
that,
yeah,
and
that'd be
contact information. I mean, my wheels are spinning.
That's
there's a lot,
awesome.
a lot in common, man. More than
Yeah.
And
you know
like
right now.
learning the difference between like selfishness and self-advocacy. Like when you find out what really is working for you, it's like I have the guts, the balls, whatever you want to call it,
Okay.
The balls.
to figure out what I need, like what is missing, like why am I doing what I'm doing, instead of like when you're doing a bunch of coke and drinking it. It's like that question never comes up because it's the more of the selfish side of the hurt inner child of like I have to do everything myself. And now it's like, no, like some of my favorite people that are actually good humans like just me enough to like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And how long have you been in Destin?
4 years now,
Okay.
maybe 4 or 5.
And you still stay in touch with a lot of people back here, like Cam and I mean, I follow you on Facebook and the stuff you're doing, and I was on our mutual friend Brandon McNamee, right? Is that how I pronounce the last name?
That's where I'm going after this.
The beer guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going from a recovery podcast to a beer drinking podcast.
Yes and amen.
Tell him I want him on big time. Me and him bonded, man, on his podcast. Eric Conley, CEO and business partner here, was on it. It was him in Wellington doing like a mental health show for a while. And,
right.
And I know Brandon's been through it.
Yes.
Big time. And I really see him. So please give him my best.
I will. We'll get him on.
Yeah. During COVID, he started this movement. It's the drink beer.
The end is near.
Drink
so
beer.
let's drink beer or something like that.
And it's hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook. It
blew up overnight. Crazy.
And there's but it's funny, like
whoa.
It started with, people barbecue and drinking beer and being decent people and not douchebags. And I can get down with that. And then also promoting the fuck out of people that are in recovery and don't drink beer. Like put up your mocktail or something. Like it's a really cool movement. I really look. He's just a great guy too. So please give him my best.
And he's donated over $1 million from that group already.
Yeah. So like on the 1st or 15th of every month, he promotes nonprofits. Yeah. So
is he single? I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm
he's
kidding.
married. Settle down, Tiger.
She's probably a
She's wonderful.
Lovely woman.
She is.
But shoot your shot. So
No,
yeah,
I just he sounds like
Yeah.
like he's really doing big things and like things
He
that are
is.
making a difference.
He is. And he's just started this amazing channel, through a Facebook group. And he even admits he made it, went to bed, and he woke up. He's like, whoa, there's 4,000 people in here on the first day or
What do
first
you
week
do
or
with
something.
that?
He's like, holy crap. And now it's at like 120,000 or some absurd number.
it's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Used to call him the Natty King. I think he was a big natural light guy or something. Yeah. So you're going all the way out there?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 'cause
Way
that's
out
St.
there.
Charles. That's where I'm from. So
When is all the stuff, the services for your
tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to knock out everything today.
Gotcha.
We flew in late last night. Boom, boom, knock these out.
What are you doing tonight?
I don't know. That's
You
my
want Blues
wife
tickets?
calling and texting. No, God. Yes, but no. No. I should be with the family,
Got you.
but I've snuck in a podcast and now it's turned into 2 podcasts.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
from opposite ends of the earth.
Here, I'm gonna apologize on camera. I'm sorry, babe.
Yeah.
But she's gonna find out here in a few
Spreading the
minutes
good
that
news.
I'm not on my way back home. I'm going the other way.
You're spreading the good news.
Yeah.
Of recovery. I really want to stay in touch.
We will.
I got to get so Eric and his family here at IRC and Brian, they go to Destin a couple times a year. They love it. They've always wanted us to go. Potty break? Okay. You did it pretty good.
I know it was pretty.
Yeah, I'm about due for one too.
2 years. So I'm gonna land.
We're
the
wrapping
plane.
up. Yeah.
I always have a hard time landing the plane. Well, I could talk about this shit fucking
I
all
know,
day,
me
Shawn.
too.
Want to have you back on, even if it's virtually for the fuck around show or the next time you come to town. PAFO, one of our new shows. It's just, we got your story out there and then we all just fuck around and talk about this stuff, but share more about wellness and I've seen so much transformation in this space. It's probably the greatest, besides my wife and son. Like it's the greatest gift from God to be.
Yeah.
Able to have a front row seat of people transforming their lives from death's fucking door to doing what you're doing now, like and smiling again and raising a daughter and with an incredible wife. God, that she's a superstar of this show.
Insane.
Yeah. So best to Nina. Thanks for doing this, man.
Thanks for having me on.
I
it felt good.
I appreciate you more than you know. I look forward to growing our friendship too.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate you, and let us pray.
Pondoff's Anonymous is hosted by Chris Pondoff with Zoe Mendenhall and Jeff Allen. Produced, engineered, mixed, and filmed by Jeff Allen. Recorded at Illinois Recovery Center in the Pondoff's Anonymous studios. Music by McCall. The track is Anti-Hero. This podcast shares stories. It's not a substitute for professional help. If you need support, visit pondoffsanonymous.com and contact us.